Hello and welcome back to Jesse's Vintage Garage, and we're at a friend's place here. We're going to be getting ready to work on a 2004 Ultra, and we're going to be doing a Feuling cam plate upgrade in this segment here. So we got all the exhaust off and stuff, and he's getting ready to take the cam cover off here. It's going to start draining oil. And then after this, we'll be pulling the cam plate all apart here. We got to take the push rods out, and we'll go over that here in a minute. Right now, we kind of missed this in the video with the 2007 and later, but he's removing the push rods now, and he's brought up the push rod tubes to hold them up so he can adjust them and all the way back them all the way off, so they'll go up in there better and take the tubes and stuff apart and then come all out. So we'll do that real quick here.
These are the quickies also.
You got quickies also?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those are the quickies ones. So we got the new S&S lifters sitting in here soaking in oil, absorbing oil. We got air bubbles coming up every once in a while. You can see a couple there. Also, we got to flush the oil tank out in this bike. See this style twin cam is the older one. These tensioners here, this plastic piece right here, they wear out about every 30,000 miles, and
yeah, just
something like that.
Yep.
They just like wear out, and they're suggested that every 30,000 miles you switch them out with new ones. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flush out the oil tank, because the material that, I don't know, this is like the second or third time these been switched out. This material's going somewhere.
Yep.
So we're thinking it's in the bottom of the oil tank.
It could be.
So as a precaution, we're going to flush this tank out.
Because it recommends to do that.
And the fueling instructions, and we're going to go put this on for this year model set. Like he said, it actually suggests and tells you to flush the oil tank out to clean out all of that residue that's been building up for those years. Right?
Yep. So
we're going to be doing that now, draining this out and letting it sit while we're working on everything else here in the background. It'll be draining out. The Feuling cam plate kit we're going to be installing, 7090 part number. It comes with a bunch of stuff. A new cam plate, oil pump, all new bearings, a new sprocket, some chains, and new screws, and lube for the prepping, and comes with the plate for the back of the lock plate to help hold the bearings and stuff in for the plate here, because this plate's different than the one that's in like the 2007 and later that you might have seen in the other video that I have out there. Also comes with has the hydraulic tensioner upgrade kit in it, so we're going to be going away from that spring style one that's stock. Comes with a set of gaskets for the whole thing. And yeah, this is the OE Plus cam plate kit, and it's for 99 to 2006, but excludes 2006 Dyna. These are all twin cam engines, of course. So also it's for the factory style chain drive cams with a conversion cam plate and hydraulic tensioners is what this is. So like I just said, so this is the instructions. We'll be going over all this. Run it. So here we go. Yeah, so right here is taking tension off the tensioner and pinning it. That way we can remove everything else here.
Dots up here.
Okay, so we got of course we just released that and got it pinned, and now we're getting ready to take we're backing these off, and we're getting ready to take these out. And you were saying that this one's ready to come out when
the timing dot is at the bottom, when they're facing each other. When this dot is up here, then the front one is ready to come out.
Yeah, so we're going to work on taking these all out, and then we'll probably go to start taking these off later, because we're going to be replacing the lifters anyway, but that's later, putting them in and stuff. So There we are. We got the push rods out and the tops off here, and
pull the lifters.
Yeah, we'll probably end up pulling the lifters here soon. And actually, we can do that now. But and then we have the push rods and all that stuff set aside and in the order they came out, so we'll be able to put it back together easy. And yeah, we gotta take that pin out and that. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So here we go. Then we'll be able to take the timing chain, sprockets all off, and then pull the cam plate off. We have to take the sprockets off for sure because they're held on here with a screw back here behind here, so we can't just take it off as a big group like that.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
I don't know if you want to tell them that there's 107,000 miles on the bike, or
111,000 miles on this bike. I don't know if you heard him, but yeah. So it's quite a minute. It's quite a bit. All right, here we go. We're gonna remove the sprocket and chain drive assembly there. The top one's splined and the bottom one's like D-shaped on the shaft. There we are. Now we have access to all the screws. There's a couple back here too, even. So.
Well, then the oil pump. We're going to leave the oil pump on the plate. So all we're going to take off is the perimeters.
Okay, that's true. Yeah, that's the oil pump screws.
Better release that. Guess what? That screw head. I don't want it to hit that and ruin anything. Oh, yeah. I don't need it. That should be it. Yeah.
All right, well, here's the plate with the cams. We're going to have to remove this plate down here. And then this tensioner was actually in pretty good shape.
We just replaced it. About
and
1,000 miles ago.
And these are Andrew's cams.
Andrew's TW37B.
Yeah, all right. So we'll get that knocked out here quick, and then we're ready to start assembling, I think, possibly. Moving the retaining rings.
There we go. Yeah, we're gonna have to tap on that first cam. I'll get a punch. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a new chain with the kit.
Yep.
Got the cams
we're gonna
removed
take
now.
This out. Take this off. Now we're gonna pull this.
The bearing off the cam.
Oh, how you want to do this? I got a bearing puller.
So if you watched the video on the 2007 and later, you can tell this is all different looking in here and stuff. These bearings are smaller. They're not quite as small as the bearing in the 99 and older Evolution motors and shovel heads and pan heads, 58 to 99. The 9058 roller bearing is just a little bit smaller diameter than this one here. And this is next size bigger, and then the 07s and later had a bigger bearing yet. So, but anyway, just wanted to point that out. We talked about that in the other video, so I thought I'd do it here too. Yeah, so while we're over here and this is all ready to go, we're gonna do the run-out test now to see where we're at with that.
Really don't.
So here we are. He's putting the plate on now, so we have a place to put our gauge on mounts to.
Oh, Joe, Your run out can be worse than mine.
Really?
Yeah, look at there. Crank run out under 5. Ideal is under 3.
Well, there we
And
go.
play between 3 and 4.
Oh, there we go then, I guess. So,
Why did mine have to be 2.5?
well,
Yours is better.
I don't know. The year range changes that, I guess. I don't know. So what was it?
3 to 5.
3 to 5. So,
Says crank run out under 5 thousandths. Ideal is under 3 thousandths. So that's what it should be.
so yeah, we're gonna be checking for any elliptical movement on the shaft here, high spots, low spots, and that would be indication of the
Run out.
cranks, the crankshaft halves
Out of, yep.
being out of
true.
Out of true, yep. We got all the gauge all set up here, ready to check our run out, and he's gonna start spinning the rear wheel. It jumps up to 2 and it's back down to 0. Yep. And again,
Okay, when it's on 0, tell me to stop.
keep going. There you go. 0.
Okay. Now lift up on the crank, Joe. Pull up on it. Watch the needle. Pull up on it. Lift up as high as you can.
I did.
Are you getting anything? Pull up and down.
Half maybe.
Okay. Okay, now what we need to do is, now we got to check end play.
Yeah.
And so in order to do that, we got to put the bolt in here. We got to pull on it and set this on the edge here. So we'll set that up next.
Alright, so we got this set up for checking our end play. We need to be between, what was it, 3 and 4
Yeah.
thousandths?
I can't get anything to move.
No, that's...
I can't get it to move at all. I would think you'd have end play. Mine did. I could move it real easy. I can't feel any end play. Well, I guess. Okay, we got it pulled way out.
Yep.
Okay. Now we're going to push back. We got 3 thousandths.
Okay, good.
Okay, now we need a wrench that fits that.
No,
Probably 5/8 or something.
got it here in the socket if you want that.
One of these size fits it.
Yeah, for this.
Or that. I don't care. You hold something.
I just want to look at, make sure we're not clamping too tight on that shaft.
Well, we don't have to go all the way out.
Oh, I know.
in
Let's
there.
loosen it up a little bit.
Oh, somebody tightened it up already. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Let's go. See?
The camera
Ta-da.
bearing removed. So with the bearings and the race removed from the cams, we're ready to start assembling stuff. So one of the first steps is to put the bearings in the cam plate. We're working on that. We're getting this stuff ready right now.
This
Oh.
is the ball.
We got the instructions here, and it talks about where the bearings go. The one with the race is on the right side with the plate backwards to open up, and the one with the ball's on the left there. And it talks about on the one cam, it gets an O-ring in there, and then a washer and a race. So we're going to be doing that here. Alright, so this is the cam that gets the race. And we got the O-ring in there right now. This is the old O-ring. And, anyways, this is the wash that goes between that and the race. So, the O-ring and the race. Doesn't talk about a certain direction, so
well, I was looking to see if it was a bevel. Don't look like it, so
okay.
That goes like that.
Alright, and then
Then we're going to press the race on it. The race is inside the new bearing.
and you're leaving the O-ring there just to help
Well,
with
for
the
now,
race
yeah,
or
we
whatever.
can pop it off later.
Yep. Anyway, he's getting ready to go press the bearing into the plate.
Instructions.
There we go. Working on putting that in there.
Yeah, I gotta straighten that out.
Alright, so we got the O-ring there we talked about a little bit ago, and then the new washer. Here's the race. And then got a race installer here, homemade. And he's gonna go ahead and press that down on there now. Working on getting
There it is, tooth to tooth.
the alignment here on the cams. So dot to dot.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Now you can bring that other plate over. Off the
Here's
press.
this one. Here's the
There you go.
Now we got to press that on.
Yes. And that is that other tool. I think it's on the press yet.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm sure that this one is lined up.
There we go. That was scary. But you got it perfectly. We're getting ready to put this bearing retainer plate in. Or it says in the instructions you should do it after or before you press the cams in. But it doesn't matter as long as you can still slide it up underneath anyway. As long as that oil pump's not in the way. Also, it comes with new screws, new plate. We're putting the new plate in. And the screws are torqued to 20 to 30 inch-pounds. Applying red Loctite to it, it says too. Or no, it says install bearing retainer plate screws using blue Loctite 242 or 243, which they didn't provide that. That's why I thought we were going to use red. So we're going to put blue Loctite on those screws. And 20 to 30 inch-pounds.
What time is this one? I think it started. I don't know. Look at it somewhere. I think it's crooked. It's a long ways away from my hand.
There we are. We're going to torque these down real quick. Okay, so while they're finishing up that cam plate retainer pleating, we're gonna make sure we install this boss plug here. It goes into the plate right here in this top corner. And what it's talking about here is if the boss is not present, the 1/16th plug must be installed to the cam plate. If it is there, you don't need the plug. So it says
I'll put it in anyway.
touring. If the boss is not present in a 99 to 2000, the plug in your cam plate must be installed. If the boss is present, it is not required to install cam plate plug, as the boss is a dead hole. However, Feuling recommends installing the plug in all A engines to prevent any potential oil leaks at the boss. B would be a soft tail engine. So A is this touring engine. So we're putting that plug in right now. That gets Loctite and 55 to 60 inch-pounds. So they got that installed right there. Right there. And that's the boss plug. Boss that they're talking about is this hole here. All right.
Okay.
Them cam bearings there. The original styles in this style motor had a plastic retainer in there that held the rollers together. This one has metal with a brass or something retainer in there, right?
But it's still a lot less rollers.
Okay, so then there's another one that's come out now, and then this is the one that comes with the kit. They're all rollers inside of it. So we're gonna be installing these. This is a lot better. She's working on putting in the bearing remover in right now, and it's gonna pull these out. We'll come back and we'll talk about this a little bit more, but you just pop this special tool in there and it grabs it and pulls it right out through. Alright, so it's got the tool all set up. This spreads out the flanged areas here. You gotta make sure that's in there. And once you start this, you gotta commit to it, because there's no getting it back out, because it goes behind and grabs on the back side of that bearing. And right there in the back here, that's the flywheel. So you don't want any of this stuff going inside the motor. So there's the bearing, one of the cam bearings just removed.
Numbers are on the outside, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Is that how that one is?
There, we got the bearings removed. We're ready to put the new ones in. Here's the plate. We'll be installing that to the engine case and with these thumb screws. And then there's a special driver and threaded piece here that pushes it in.
You gotta put the bearing on that too, don't you? Okay. Words out.
Numbers out, yes.
That's numbers. You want to put some molly on it?
Yep. Or we do it after it's in there. I don't know.
So with the old bearings out, they had a lot less rollers in there with that retainer thing sitting there. So that was one of the other reasons when they upgraded to this. We're upgrading to this bearing.
That's
Probably twice as many, probably close to it.
That's gritty. It's got anti-seize on it. Where's your cutter? You ain't got it out yet, do you?
Both bearings in there now, and this little piece holds the bearing, puts it in. There we go. Now we're ready to move on to the next step. Okay, so next here in the instructions is to lube the inner tensioner pad, chain, and inner bore of tensioner housing, and then we install the tensioner. So I'll be doing that next. Lubing the chain right now with the red assembly lube that came with the kit.
And you want to put some on the outside so you give a...
Oh, lubing the inside, I don't know.
go.
There, you can start lubing the tensioner stuff.
And this has got to go on. Yeah, we're going to have to push. And we can't put it in one screw and then tilt it. You got to push it in straight.
Did you get it lubed already?
That's on it.
It's got. You're supposed to lube the inner tensioner pad, chain, and inner bore of the tensioner housing.
Oh yeah, pull it apart.
Okay, that's good.
All right, it says here with the torque the fasteners to 120 inch-pounds using the Molly lube on the underhead of the flange and threads.
Oh, that's right. They don't Loctite any of this stuff.
Well, he's about dropped it.
I get it lined up pretty good.
Nope.
No? Should be there.
Bring it this way, touch. There we go.
Don't move. Okay, start the other one.
Yeah, well.
There it goes.
Hold there forever until I get.
Yeah, I know. Hold it there forever.
Right there, we get ready to torque this down to 120 inch-pounds.
When you get halfway there, you know, you can go to the bathroom.
So the next step here, they're talking about disassembling the oil pump and then lubing it all with the red lube that comes with it, and then put it all together, and then prime the oil pump with clean, fresh oil before attaching to the cam plate. They're pouring oil right to the middle there, so we'll be doing that here coming up.
Yeah, yeah, you can pull it all off there. Give me that. Okay.
There you go. Now you can put some down in there and then on the wall.
Just the way I picked her up, just like that there.
There you go. Ooh. Yeah, get it all over me.
Good.
There you go. This one don't have an O-ring, huh? Got it?
Yep.
And this.
Let me have this up here. Get her in the hole anyway.
Alignment pins, yep.
Yeah.
Is it on? Do the inside casing. Whoa. Does it show an O-ring?
It does on this one, but it might be for a different model or something.
Yeah, mine had an O-ring.
Yeah, and the pictures O-ring he's talking about that one there, but this one here doesn't have that picture or provision for it to be on there.
Yeah.
So
Evidently I don't use it.
I didn't see it in the group of parts, did you, in the box?
No, it's not
Yeah,
in
so,
there.
yep.
Unless it's somewhere else, like in that bag of gaskets.
Step here 17 is you're lining the oil pump pieces. There's two pieces that rotate in there that are D-shaped, and they got to be in perfect line with each other. That's what they're doing here.
No.
And
That's
so you're gonna rotate the crankshaft until the flats are horizontal, and then you can the cam plate O-ring cases. What to put them O-rings in, and then install the crank bolt, and you just slide it through there. So it says here, tech tip: the pinion shaft sprocket bolt can be installed into the pinion shaft during engine assembly, and used to easily rotate the engine just with a tool, you know. So then we install the cam plate coming up. All right, so we have the oil pump aligned right now in there, and we're putting these new O-rings in here. Like I said, he's just pre-lubing some more stuff there, and we're ready to put the plate in with the cams. Yeah, so we're getting ready to attach the oil pump to the plate, and then it's got the new oil O-ring installed right there also.
Here's mine. It's already mine.
All right, he's gonna work on putting them in the rest of the way, and then we'll come back.
I just need a taste. That's good. That's good. A little more on the chain, yeah. All right.
Ready?
All right, so we got the plate installed, and it tells you to kind of like run the screws in a little bit, and then you gotta like align the pump. Okay, so on step 19 it says tighten and torque cam plate bolts first, then the oil pump bolts second. So on the cam plate, apply moly lube to the under head flange and threads of the cam plate fasteners. Install fasteners finger tight, and the engine should be rolled over several times to center of the cam plate. Alternately, the cam plate bolts to 10 inch-pounds, and then rotate the engine several times again using the same alternating sequence. Final torque cam plate bolts to 90 to 120 inch-pounds. Rotate and center the cam plate bolts first, and then the oil pump. So anyway. And here it says oil pump, rotate the engine over several times, like I said. Tighten the pump down to 10 inch-pounds. And then rotate the engine several more times. Step torque oil pump, and the following torque steps while rotating engine between steps 45, 90, and then final torque 120. So when this is all done, the engine should rotate freely. If there's any binding or tight spots, the oil pump should be removed and inspected, and possible pinched O-ring for damage. Just got done installing the retaining ring, snap ring on that front cam. Then we're going to put the perimeter bolts in the cam plate and start the sequence and tightening them down. We're putting the moly lube on the screws, and we're putting the screws into the cam plate now.
Some sort of ARP grease. ARP, fastener assembly lubricant.
So yeah, we gotta put them all in finger tight right now. That's when, then the next step would be to roll the engine over several times. And then start the torque sequence. That'll eliminate any binding and stuff.
Right. That one. Oh, I got it all over me. Oh, at least it's not silver anti-seize.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now we're supposed to inch pound them.
Yeah, the first
Increments of, what is the first one, 40?
I'll look and see here in a second. Here we go. Alright, it says to rotate it some more.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Three, 4.
So the next increment's like 45.
Oh, 45.
While we're rolling this over, we should probably put oil in it.
Have a kid.
And that way the pump can be sucking.
Yep.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Alright, go ahead. So it looks like we're going to torque this down to 45-50 right now. Then we'll rotate it again.
I don't think I did this one. Okay, now I'm going to go all the way around so I don't miss any. Yep.
Yeah, since we have the oil drain, we're going to put oil in now. So
Next setting?
next setting would be 90, it says.
90.
Then after that, it'll be 120.
3 and 4.
So yeah, this setting is now 90 inch-pounds. We gotta do it one more time, and then we'd set it for the final torque at 120. All right, rotate it.
One, 2, 3, 4.
120.
120.
I'm going to find it first. 120.
Then we go on to torquing the oil pump down, which is the same sequence here, but we're torquing down the oil pump screws only, and then we rotate it and do it in increments just like we did. That way, everything lines up. I know it sounds monotonous, but this is how the procedure is. Here we go. So now the first setting, now the second part, oil pump. So first increment is 10 inch-pounds.
Again.
And then rotate it several more times. And then do the step torque oil pump procedure in the following step while rotating the engine between steps 45 inch-pounds, 90, and then 120 as well.
Okay. This is ready for the first setting. Want to turn it? Well, we've been turning it, so you go ahead.
No, you need to keep turning it. But yeah, that's first one.
We've
10.
been turning it.
Yeah, his first one will be 10, and then you'll turn it again. Because this is actually when you rotate it and he's torquing it down. It says here that your oil pump is priming at this time, and you should see oil coming out of the pinion shaft hole.
Oh, good thing we put oil in the tank.
Yep, so now go ahead and rotate it. Okay, let's set it for 45 inch-pounds.
4.
Oh, it's starting.
How many?
That's fine. That's fine. Several. We got movement here. Oil.
Look at there. We got new oil already. It's not new oil though. Okay, so we gotta go where?
45. Yeah, 45.
Okay.
Okay, and then several more times. This time we'll be going to 90 inch-pounds.
2, 3, 4.
All right, rotate some more.
Yeah.
Here, what's the next setting?
120.
4, 5.
That'll do it.
All right.
We're ready for the game.
So for the next part, we're going to be installing sprockets. So we're lining up the timing marks, and check sprocket alignment with a straight edge, using the correct thrust washer thickness to achieve the proper sprocket alignment. And then we got a bunch of spacers that came with this kit. So we're doing that right now.
Yep.
So right now he's installing got the sprockets installed. This is the ones that came with the kit. These are thinner than the original stock Harley ones because we get a different chain that we're putting on here.
Because of the hydraulic tensioner, they were called for different.
Oh, okay.
Roll the back wheel over. It's right there.
Alright, so here's how we're checking alignment with the ruler. And it's hitting down there. So let's flush with it.
So we need a thicker spacer than this. Whoops.
And the original one that was on
I'll
there.
get your calculator.
Yeah, that was the original one.
That's a ticket.
So we're feeling that was flush. When it's straight across or not at an angle or nothing leaving a gap.
Yes, no.
So in step 21 here, it talks about installing the chain, and we have to put it on as a group. Both dots need to be across from each other.
They do.
And then use the proper sprocket locking tool and install the bolts using the red Loctite. Final torque cam bolt to 34 foot-pounds. Crankshaft bolt at 24 foot-pounds. So we don't have that tool there, but we need to see and make sure that those the dots are lined up with each other. So there we are. We got the alignment right. That's how it lines up.
Dot to dot. Okay, line up.
So next up here, we got to install the outer tensioner using assembly lube on the tensioner pad and chain. Verify pad is square to the chain and not cocked.
Right.
So we'll want to lube the inside of that as well, like we did the other one.
Only one side of this has a hole in it, so you got to line it up with the hole. So there it is. I got some lube on that.
Molly those.
Okay, we ready? Top one first. I think I'm pretty close. Just start it and then, okay, now we're gonna push, no, that's good. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Now you run it again.
Right. So, number 22 just kind of says installing this tensioner is the same procedure as the other one, which we just did. And then
Now
pump
we
up.
got new bolts for those.
So it said here, pump up the lifters using oil, which we did already. You saw that at the beginning. And then we're ready to install the what says here? Yeah, pump up the lifters using an oil squirt can and install into the engine case along with the anti-rotation pins. Install new lifter block gaskets and lifter blocks covers and apply Loctite glue to the block fastener and torque to 120 inch-pounds.
Right.
So right now we're putting the crankshaft bolt in and we'll do the cam one. But the crankshaft bolt is blue Loctite with 24 foot-pounds. And the camshaft one is blue Loctite with 34 foot-pounds. It's probably because it's a bigger.
Yeah, it is bigger. This is a 5/16 and this is 3/8.
Yeah, so this part 23 here, it talks about the oil pump and the squirt can stuff. We don't need to worry about any of that stuff because we actually had the new lifters soaking in oil pretty much the entire process we've been doing here. So this is going to be our next step, putting these in along with the anti-rotation pins, a new gasket, and then our blocks can get put back on.
Got the gaskets here. What do you want?
Getting ready to put these lifters in, and there's an oiling hole on them.
Only on one side.
They go holes in or they go holes out, and we're putting holes out.
And they both got to be
Same
going the
way.
same direction.
All of them face the same way. Then you put a pin in.
Right there.
So it's installing the rear lifter block right now, our cover, and gonna move on to the front one.
Is this point right here?
See, there's a log.
There to there. There to there.
This one's a little, about a 1/4 inch. So the short one goes first. Here you go.
The short one goes first?
Yeah, it's inside.
Okay.
Alright, so with the timing marks lined up like we were supposed to according to instructions, we can start doing our timing, or putting our push rods in. It's got the rear one in here so far, and we're going to do the rear one back, or the inter.
No, we're going to do this one, and then we're going to do this one. Right now, we're ready
Back cylinder ready
we're
to
ready
go.
to adjust this one. You got, it's just zero clearance right now.
So for to adjust that one, you have to have the marks there.
This cylinder. Then we turn this mark up here, and then this cylinder's ready.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, thanks. So with doing the push rods, putting them back in, one-piece push rods, they're kind of a pain in the butt. You got to take the whole solid push rod. You got to take the whole like top end apart to put the push rods in. And there's a segment in here talking about that if you're into the solid ones. But typically people would just, to save all the labor and time, they would just cut the push rods and then pull them out and put adjustables in. With doing adjustable push rods, you got to run the correct preload on your lifters. So they recommend hydraulic lifters with just under half travel at operating temperatures. Feuling full travel lifters are designed to run with 0.090 and 0.110 pre-cold preload lift total lifter travel 0.200. These are S&S lifters, and he's got quickies for his push rods adjusters, and that's 32 threads per inch. And to get that, you got to go over to 319 on this as well, because on the 2010 that we worked on, the other video, it was the same setup. So 3. Right, we'll lock that nut down, and then the rear cylinder is adjusted, and then we'll be able to rotate it till the timing mark is at this top corner down here. It'll be up here on the front cylinder. Okay, so right now...
See, because if we did this now and we roll it over, you'd bend a valve on a piston. So we got to wait for this to loosen up.
What's happening?
Could take about 4 or 5 minutes.
Bleed down, so that, like he was just saying, that the rear one there is bled down, it'll rotate. And this one here is still solid, so then we'll be able to rotate it. We'll finish up the rear one now, and we got that rotated to the top. Timing marks at the top. Rims are on the front one now. We got the push rods all done. It was kind of boring watching all that adjustment stuff, so if you ever like worked on Harleys before, you've seen all that before. If not, it's straightforward when you're reading the instructions on this kit. And then we got the gasket sitting here ready to go on, new one. And then we're just going to put the outer cover on here. Button it up, we're pretty much almost done here. Then we'll probably knock out all the boring stuff like putting exhaust and stuff back on, and then we'll come back and see how it runs. See what kind of oil pressure we have for this one. Everything kind of installed. We got the exhaust and everything installed here, and we're gonna just circulate the oil and see how fast the oil pressure
Light goes off.
Yeah.
Waiting to pair. Here we go.
The pump came up a little bit too.
Pump went up to 20.
There we go. Now I guess the next step is put the plugs in and fire it up. Alright, so we got off the lift and we're going to start it up. And when we first had it running before we did all this here, it had like a little bit over 32 pounds of pressure. We didn't have that on footage yet. I think I got some footage of it. We might be able to put it at the end of this video. We'll see. Otherwise, we're going to start this up and see what it sounds like and see what kind of oil pressure we got. So on closing here, I guess, we revved it up a lot at the end there, and it ended up going up to about 60, so 60 pounds of pressure. And this kit in general was a little bit more difficult than the 07 and later bikes. We could easily see that difference in the two between that video and this video. But it turned out really well. I think we accomplished a nice improvement on this bike. And it needed some new stuff anyways, since how it had, 100,000 miles on it now. So anyway, hope you enjoyed everything, and we'll see you again soon.